Hello, I am Keerthana Devta and I'm very excited to record my first video for my YouTube channel. And the whole idea behind this channel is to help online business owners systemize, streamline and automate their businesses so they can make more money and, save more time. So without further ado, one tool that's going to make you maximize your time and effort is Zapier. So let me dive right in and show you how this tool works. So what you see is Zapier. The name Zapier, according to the founders, is because it rhymes with happier. So that's how they pronounce it. And essentially, it's a simple, if this happens, then do this kind of a tool. So you're trying to say, if this action happens, kind of automate everything after it. And this could vary from being extremely simple zaps to extremely complicated zaps. So a zap is essentially anything from A to Z that you're asking it to do. So from the start, which is if this task happens, then do this, that whole thing is known as a zap. And each of those, steps in between are called tasks. So Zapier has a pretty reasonable pricing plan, I think, and their pricing plan usually happens with the number of tasks that you require. So I am on the starter kit and I have 750 tasks per month in my plan. And if you just have to see the different plans that they have, these are the different pricing plans with Zapier. You have all the way from a free account to a company account, and you see its variable is determined by the number of tasks within a zap. And even though you have a free account, sometimes some of the softwares within Zapier require you to have a paid plan. So there is that, 2 layers of payment that they do process. And if you're a beginner to Zapier and you're like, okay, how do I automate my tasks? How do I figure this software out? Because you could have really simple 2-step zaps all the way to extremely complicated zaps. So let me show you what's the easiest way to go about that. So the first thing that you can do is you could search for a zap. You could search for a software to see what kind of zaps. Yeah. So if you were to type Google Sheets, what you can do is you can go all the way down, and here you could see integrations. So you have triggers and actions, and you could load more. Here you could have, okay, let me break this up for you. So if you're just looking for Google Sheets, just type that out, and then what you're gonna have is you're gonna have triggers. Trigger is essentially your first step for the zap, which means, hey, this is the trigger, and when this happens, please do the following steps below. So you could have a new spreadsheet row, you could have a new spreadsheet, you could have a new or updated spreadsheet row. So essentially, you could understand what your different softwares are doing by just understanding triggers, by understanding actions, and seeing, okay, so action is always the second or the third step. It's never the first step. And you could have, you could go through this. Now that you know what each software can do, what we then can do is we could go into Zapier and, okay, so let me give you some thought starters as to how you could use Zapier efficiently. I have made notes for this, so let me just quickly open that up and we could run through it together. So let me give you instances where you can use Zapier. When you start thinking about how you could use it, you get better with using the software correctly. And the whole idea behind this is to automate repetitive tasks so that you don't have another human being doing it for you. It could be a VA who's currently doing some of these tasks for you, and you can remove that. You can actually remove a person. Some tasks definitely require human interaction. Without that you can't, but a big chunk of it could be automated. So the idea is to automate what can be automated and delegate what has to be delegated. So let me give you simple examples as to how to use Zapier efficiently. So one could be your onboarding process. So if you're a high ticket program or a high ticket service that you're offering, there's probably a salesperson or a sales call involved where there's some kind of interface with the company, and then there's a close, and then there's payment received. So within our agency, what happens is once we receive the payment, once we close the deal, we send them out an invoice, and then we send them out a contract, and then we send them out an onboarding form. So these are the 3 things that have to be filled out. Right now it's manually done, but I could completely automate this. So how do I automate this? So the trigger, let me give you some thinking points and thought starters, is when a payment comes through. So when a payment comes through, so right now we use PayPal. So say when my company receives a new payment through PayPal, we automate a lot of things. So we start off the trigger being a new incoming amount in PayPal, and then it goes on to, okay, so once the payment comes through, please send out this email, and in that we're requesting them to have fill out their onboarding form and also sign that contract. So these are the next 2 steps. So these could be automated, and you could go one step further. Say you use multiple channels. You have Stripe, you have PayPal, you have Authorize.net. You could see which are the softwares within Zapier and automate a big chunk of it. So that is one step where you could really streamline your onboarding, so that your salesperson works more on selling rather than sending out proposals and wasting time there. So that increases your efficiency as a business owner. And the second use case that I've come up with is new leads. So what happens when somebody books a sales call with you? Is there a nurture sequence at play? Do you kind of educate them? Do you have case studies that you showcase? So, when they get on the call, it's a lot easier to sell them because they know, like, and trust you. Or do you not have that in place? So again, you could do a simple Zapier. So I use Calendly as my booking software. So the trigger could be Calendly when a new lead comes through or new booking comes through in Calendly. Then I add them to ActiveCampaign. And in my ActiveCampaign, I have further automation where I could send out case studies, and and also you could add them to your CRM if you have a CRM in place. So now what's really happening is these steps, which could be manually done, is sort of automated, and automatically you're adding every new lead that comes into your business into your ActiveCampaign, which is your email client, and your CRM. So isn't that efficient? Because you can't trust VAs to do an efficient job for the same task, but if you could automate it, that's one level higher efficiency, right? And business metrics. So I've spoken to a ton of agency owners recently, and one thing that I've always seen across high 6-figure agency owners per month is they have bad tracking in place, and they've reached 100K per month just with bad tracking. So imagine if you have proper tracking, how that could really help you. So you could automate important key metrics so that it could be sent to your Slack channel every single day. So you could be sitting on the beach, sipping your pina colada, and you could see, hey, how much money came into the business? How many new leads came into the business? How many new calls, new call appointments do we have? How many of them translated into sales? So you could have a quick snapshot on your Slack channel. And these are just 3 cases of Zap, and I'm not going into showing you how to do these Zaps only because I want to have more videos around this. And usually when you're kind of trying to build out a Zap, it's a little complicated to see me do it and try to get the steps. So I want to kind of make subsequent videos for that, and usually play it side by side so you see me do it and then you kind of try it yourself. But I hope I kind of got some initial bit of your brains turning in the right direction when it comes to Zapier. And the last thing I want to show you is how do you periodically come in and check if all your Zaps are working correctly and nothing's broken. Because if it's broken, a big part of your business, which is automated, could require maintenance, right? So we're just going to talk about the maintenance side of it now. So the way to get here is you have to go into My Apps. And once you go in here, you will see all the apps that you're currently using. And once you want to test out a particular connection, you could just go down there and click on these 3 dots and just say test connection. So if it says test successful, okay, so I don't know what's really happening at the back end, but this essentially is a nice quick way to maintain your Zapier account and maintain your Zaps that are currently running to ensure they're all running smoothly. And I'm going to make a lot more videos around Zapier and useful Zaps that you could use in your business. And This is quickly a very quick intro video. I hope you found it useful, and if you do have any questions, don't forget to comment below. I'll be happy to help you out. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you know what you have to do. So hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.